All right. Welcome to the Southside Experience, episode 5, guys. It's been 5 of these. Wait, hold on. I apologize. It's been
Maybe
6
six.
of these. This is the 6th episode. How are you guys doing?
Hanging in there.
Hanging in
Love
there.
it.
Awesome.
Glad to
Love it.
see
Awesome.
all y'all beautiful faces.
Yeah,
Yep.
excited to talk about some Jafar cards here, boys.
Awesome. Before we do that, let me go ahead and make introductions. I know we have the usual crew here, but just in case this is your first time tuning in, we'll start in clockwise order. So we have owner and proprietor of Southside Gaming's Devin. How are you doing
Hello.
today, Devin?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm so excited. What about you, Kylie? We have Kylie from Southside Gaming, general manager. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk about some Lorcana.
Nice. And last but not least, Hector, our team captain for the Southside Gaming team for Lorcana. How are you doing?
Hanging in there. A little tired, but we got to make it.
Nice, nice. We might have to get you some type of energy drink, right? Get you through this episode today, huh?
Nah, once you get me going, I don't need energy drinks.
Fair.
You know me
fair.
by now, you already know.
Awesome. Great. All right. Before we roll in, I did want to make note of our sponsor for today, which is Southside Gaming. So Southside Gaming is the premier place to play any games as far as Disney Lorcana, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and any other future games coming out. We've made some slight changes to our website, so we invite you to check that out. In addition to that, we do want to mention that we have our Whatnot running as well. So if you're interested in, I think right now they're doing a Pokemon wheel, right?
Yes.
So if you're interested in that stuff, Devin, you want to give us a little
Yes.
insight on what our Whatnot's like?
Absolutely, guys. First and foremost, go ahead and go on our Whatnot. Now, we're not just marketing this right now because we're on our channel. We want to drive traffic in there. We have the product that we give, like not give away, that we offer. You'll be able to get at such a discounted rate. We strive on making sure that we provide certain products that are not easily attainable to everybody, but b at an affordable price, right? So right now, what we got going on is we have a wheel going on our Whatnot, and you're guaranteed product, right, at a discounted rate. So like I said, go on our Whatnot. The more people that go in there and drive that economy, the better the product's going to be, the better the systems are going to be, and the more games we're going to offer, right? But right now we have Pokemon. Lorcana's coming very soon. Go check it out. Highly recommend it. Yesterday, just so you know, I sold an Umbreon, Japanese Umbreon, for $150. Mint. They go for how much, Hector? Japanese?
Like 300 something, I think.
Yeah.
3-something-ish, 400.
Yeah. Name somewhere else where you could get a Japanese, or you get that card for half the price, and people are like, we're welcoming it, right? So go check it out. Go get some discounted deals.
And for the uneducated like myself, when it comes to Whatnot wheels, how does it work when, like, that Umbreon, for example? How did they get it such a discounted rate?
So that was a one-off. So I get a little nutty anything, as you guys can see, I get a little nutty. So right now we have one of our team members in there right now, and one of the I guess the activities that we provide. First of all, let me talk about Whatnot, because I don't know, some of us may not know what Whatnot is. Whatnot is a platform where it's an auction-based platform where you can go and go somebody, like a company that's live or a streamer that's live, and you're able to go and do an auction-style purchase, right? Think of like eBay but live, right? And you have other viewers that can bid on an item as if you were in an auction, right? Now we specialize in Pokemon, okay? Lorcana, Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece, all right? So when if we wanted to start selling, let's say, like an item, typically they're singles, okay? We'll start it off at a certain price, and you have X amount of time to bid on it, to where it's like an auction, okay? Then there's other activities or games that we offer, and we didn't create the blueprint. Everyone on Whatnot's doing this, where there is what's called almost like a wheel, right? And what do I mean by that is that when the wheel starts, okay, there's pretty much 100 spins, okay? Now there's a floor, an average, and a ceiling, okay? Now every time someone wins the auction, it starts at $1, okay? And let's just say, depending on what's on the wheel, at $1, and if they win that particular slot, okay, you're guaranteed the floor value, right? And our floor value for this particular one, I think, is like $3. Okay, the ceiling is $100. Okay, so and then the average, I believe, is like the average spins like what, like I don't know, they have it on there probably like 10, like let's call it $20, $10, $20, right? So what happens is that if you buy a spin and let's just say you win the auction, it's at $8, you have the ability to get $100 prize or $100 product for $8, right? And there's only 100 slots for that particular game. So, anyways, that's what we offer, and on there we have sealed Pokemon, singles, and just very sought out items. But our wheels are very successful.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be checking that out once we get some Lorcana on there. At least I've checked out some of the Pokemon ones, and I'm happy my daughter's not watching them because she would make me buy every single one.
Actually really fun too. Like it's, you know, the people on camera, like with Haley and Brandon and Keyshawn, and you know, they really make it fun. There's music playing, they really get you going, and it's not like you're just sitting there buying product. It's really kind of like you're being entertained at the same time, and it's really fun. I would recommend, like, if you guys like, you know, packs and you like kind of games, to definitely check it out because it is just a fun experience. You know, I in the beginning I used to stream on there a little bit. I did a Lorcana stream, and that was so much fun. I blew through every piece of Lorcana product we had. I think I opened one enchanted in like 50 boxes, but it was amazing. It was an amazing time. I think Yolanda was in there. She was bidding like crazy. You know, Steph was in there. It was a good time.
Yeah. To add to Kylie real quick, for example, if we did a Lorcana wheel, let's just say there's 100 slots, right? So if you purchase it and it goes obviously down, right? So there would be each spin, you would be pretty much guaranteed like a pack, right? Let's just call it an Azurite C pack, okay? But there'll be 5 slots on the wheel where you have the ability to win an enchanted. That's something we do, or maybe like a trove or a box. And if you spend, I think we can all agree on it is if I spend a $15 on a spin and I land on a $100 or an $80 box, I'm pretty happy. I know Hector is. Hector doesn't have the best luck when it comes to his Pokemon ventures on whatnot.
It's pretty bad, but it feels good, like you said, like these wheels. Imagine you're bidding and you pay $8, right? And then you happen to land on the spot that gives you a box or booster bundles worth $100. You're like, damn, it feels really good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
So definitely check out our whatnot. We have the QR code here if you're watching live, and if you're watching this at a future time. I'm not sure if the link is going to show the because I have it linked to the current live show, but you can find us if you search. I'll go on Whatnot and search SS Gaming. That is our username on Whatnot, so you can check out whenever we're live, and we're usually running through the morning, during the day, and into the evening sometimes.
Yeah. Our goal is to run 24 hours. Right now we're at Stefan said we're pretty much at 12 hours, 3 different time slots throughout the day, but we'll have like an hour break, but we're trying to get consistent all day, every day.
So nice. Awesome. And thank you for that. So let me put that away. All right. So topics for today. So the first topic we're going to roll into is as of yesterday, we have all of Reign of Jafar revealed. What are you guys excited about? We have our event coming up, which we're going to touch on in a little bit. We have some updates to that, but for some of us who are either participating in that or looking into we have a teammate who is most likely getting prepared for Worlds right now that you have all the cards revealed. So Devin, what now that you've seen a lot of the cards from the set, what ink pairings are you leaning into?
Up until today, I saw two particular cards, and I'm like, yo, I want to try some sort of blue-yellow build. But then I saw the enchanted of little beautiful Bambi, and I'm like, I'm just gonna be sticking to my my Blurple, right? But some of these cards are, but a lot of them, we'll get into that in a second. But definitely, I think purple I still love, man. Like, but blue-yellow seems very interesting. And blue green.
Nice. What about you, Kylie?
You know me, I gotta stick to over reliable, bro. Green steel.
So boring, bro.
Green steel, bro.
So
Green. I mean,
I don't know. Green steel definitely has some bangers to set, and I'm sure we're going to be touching on that. I know that Kylie has been talking my ear up about one specific card that he's pretty high on, and I'm really looking forward to hearing his input on that.
Steel, baby.
What about you, Hector?
Well, I've been I guess playing some sort of blue mash for a while, so I think Blurple. I'll give Blurple a chance. There's a couple cards in there that I think are pretty good. But of course, I definitely want to try regardless. Red blue because it's just been my baby for a long time. So I guess I have to try to make it work.
Fair. And before I go into mine, I just want to. I didn't get a chance to say hi to a lot of people who've checked in already. So I see Alex who said hi. How's it going, Wochuck? Our the star of the wheel heard around the world. We've got Ray. We've got the Lumineers. I don't know if it's Liam and Aaron or just Liam, but how you doing? RMB. Oh, we got a lot of familiar faces.
And
We got
John
Skinner, one of our
John's in here.
commentators.
We got all the big players in the house right now.
I do want to ask George one question, bro. George, what happened when I left last night, bro? What round did you leave at, bro?
No, don't do that.
What happened, George? What happened, bro? I heard I had to give out the mat anyway, bro.
Oh
That's
no.
really?
Last night, right? We had like 18 players for locals, and it didn't have like any of our players. I wasn't in there. Devin,
They
Steph.
didn't let me play last night.
So yeah, so Kyle, like we had 18 like legit people, no Southside shenanigans, and so I had an extra Cusco SSG mat left over, so I threw it in there. But my stipulation
Damn.
was that George had to finish the event.
And he did it. Damn. He did
It's
some
all right.
people dirty.
That's right. I still love George. We still gave out the mat. I think Fernando won it, so shout out to Fernando.
Yo, that's my dog.
Fernando and his wife. I saw. I checked.
They were first and second, right? Oh,
Look at them.
Really?
All
Yeah.
right.
I love
That's
seeing the
so
growth of
cool, bro.
yeah, the
That's amazing.
growth of our local
That's amazing.
community, seeing them. You can check historically their rankings and stuff like that, but they are definitely a power couple that I love that comes up to locals and just they continue to grind it out and continue to perform well. And it goes to show you that the more you put into it, the better you'll continue to do. And the fact that you're playing with some of the strongest players in the country in this area, I mean, you only stand to benefit the moment you start traveling and even heading to the DLCs in the futures and stuff like that. So I'm super happy to see that.
Yo, John, set 9, next set. Fabled has Powerline in it, so pre-order it.
Yeah. John from Guildhall. Make sure you order a ton of that.
On the Fabled.
Right
When you
here.
see
Fabled
Fabled pop
coming
up,
out.
just start clicking the plus button, bro.
I hope you guys are
Man,
ready
hold
for
on a second.
for
First off,
this.
I'm gonna stop you guys in this track. John, you don't want the smoke. I've been asking you to play this game forever, and you don't want. And you just not. What's up, my boy? Come
No,
on,
he
we want
has
to play.
He
And
has said he'll play when Powerline comes, so
All right,
we'll see
all
if he's. We'll
Didn't
see
he-
if he's
but
done
but
it.
last time this like 2 sets ago, he said when Jafar is like a Jafar set comes out, he's gonna play. What happened then? You see the trend?
I think we're I think we're flirting with a potential owner versus owner grudge match in the future.
No. Listen,
We'll stream it.
shout out
We'll
to
stream it.
John. Shout out to John, man. Guildhall. Those are our brothers over there. I'm only saying that so he could come over here right now, hang out with us. That's the only reason why I'm doing
There you go. Nice.
that.
That's awesome. Love it. I love it in the area. All right. And then for me, honestly, I've just been really focused on my list, my set 7 list for the rest of set champs. I'm actually finally able to go to one. So I'll be at Taste Gaming Set like this Saturday. Most likely playing my old reliable in preparation for the following, which I'll actually be playing at my home store, which is I think the largest prize pool in our area for set champs, which I absolutely love to see. Right, like so these kits, they come to the stores and Ravensburger really leaves it up to the store to kind of like cater to their own community. Like, here's this, you're more than welcome to add additional pricing just as long as it's not cash. And this was our first set champs that we're going to be able to do, and we just had to do it the SSG way. So when we talked to Devin about it, Devin was like, how many cases we got? And we're putting up I think is it 4 cases, right, Kylie?
Don't say a number,
2.
please. Don't say a number because it'll be X amount of cases. Let's just leave it at that. Because
I'll give you the exact, but I'm pretty sure it's 2.
It's 2.
2.
Okay. All right.
Evan,
What?
Stefan, you messed up. It's 2. Why'd you
Wait,
say 4?
Did
Now
I
it's gonna be
mess up
4.
if I'm gonna win? Did I mess up?
Now it's gonna be 4.
That's what happens when I have so much stuff. 2?
Oh no. Someone's in trouble.
Stefan, watch. Stefan's gonna go Stefan and Hector after this, after I hear once Kylie solidifies it, they're gonna get mad at me. Oh, I'm gonna hear it afterwards, because they look out for us, and then they're pretty much our the more responsible. They're like my parents, right? They're more responsible. They're the responsible
that is
party.
extremely accurate.
They really are my kids.
It's because we got these kids, man, that teaches you something.
So guys, I love when we're live
like
because we're live. Huh?
It's like 2.5. It's almost 3.
2.5.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make any sense.
I think Justin broke it down.
Devin's like, how do you cut it?
All right, now let's get to the real thing right now. We're increasing that or no?
All right, so here's the thing. So you're definitely going to increase it anyways.
Yeah.
But don't forget, we got the Set Champs next weekend, and then the one after that, we also got the Jafar event.
Oh, that Jafar event! I already put the sword in the stone for that one. We'll talk about that in a second. Can we increase that, Kylie, or no? Is it possible?
Yeah. Just got to find another case or two, but anything's possible.
And that's
we got 2 weeks.
2 weeks done, easy.
Yeah. So first place was getting the playmat, a promo, and a case.
Okay.
Second place was getting the promo and 2 boxes. Third and fourth both got a box and a promo, and then 5th through 8th got half a box and a promo.
That's current for the Set Champs.
That's current.
Okay.
All right. Can I add in?
Is there a world where we could do a case for first?
Can I add a suggestion?
It is a case for first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you said box.
No, case for first.
A
2 boxes for second.
Please. That I
2
think
boxes for second. I'm listening. What are you gonna add?
There's like, please.
Now, I mean, they have. If you notice, like on these Set Champs, they decided to cut the playmat right to second place, and everybody was complaining like, "Damn, we want the playmat." Well, I'm gonna go find another champion playmat, and we'll give one to second place also. What do you think about that?
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah,
and I think that caters towards a lot of the concerns that people have for the Set Champs this time around. And also Reign of Jafar, and what we're probably assuming for the Maleficent Set Champs for Fabled is that going down to 1 champion mat kind of feels bad.
It does.
Because there is a preference to those who prefer a clean mat. And like I was 1, and then I had first world problems where I kept obtaining champion mats. So like I just ended up sticking with the champion mats, but I will admit not having the champion text on some of them is a really popular choice for a lot of players.
Yeah,
but really,
I collect. Yeah, I actually when me and Ray were splitting it, Guildhall and the Ursula one, I was like, "Yo, please take the champion one. I just want the vanilla one." Yeah, because I don't think like, at least in the beginning, the textures didn't look that great on it. Like especially the Rockstar Stitch one, like the text just kind of like it kind of ruined the mat. I think now it's better. They've done better. Like the artwork is better. They integrate it better.
But they took away the mat.
Yeah, but they took it away. So now we don't even have the choice. So let's hope.
I will say that if you look at the differences between the Set Champs for Inklands, and then the Ursula. So the Ursula font is different, which is a bit more fitting for the theme of that mat. And I haven't gotten a good look at the Jafar one yet, but I'm assuming that the font style has been changed for the showcase part of the block, meaning like the big bad, right? So my assumption is that the Jafar mat has a different font style as to like more of the default font used for some of the other mats.
Yo, can we do a poll, like a quick question poll right here?
Man, you guys are putting pressure on me. I'm still a restream noob, so give me a second.
You guys think, like, what do you guys think without looking it up? Do you guys think Rockstar Stitch second place playmat or champion playmat is more expensive on the second-hand market? TCG
That's second place for sure.
Oh, second place for sure.
Why?
Yeah, I don't even have to look that up.
Just because it doesn't say champion on it, and everybody just like you said, everybody wants the plain one.
Oh,
okay. I think it's the second one. The first one is more of like, also like from a player standpoint, like if you buy one, it's like, damn, I don't want to buy the champion one if I didn't earn it, right? So if you buy the second place one, I guess is
you guys are right. It's about a $30 difference, but the champion one is cheaper.
I believe it.
Second place is more money. So all of you out there that got second place and you felt bad that you didn't get the champion playmat, feel good now. You got the more expensive playmat and you got the card. So win-win.
Nice. All right. So before we continue to go off the rails, I was actually going into the ink pairings that I plan on going for set 8. I think I'm gonna start Steel Song again. It's a comfort pick. I don't see a lot of super impactful additions this set, but I think that goes to show you the strength of the deck. And like, so there's two things that I look at when it comes to a new set. One, it's the additions to the deck that I pick. Two, it's the other cards that tend to be more of a hindrance on my deck, right? So last set was really painful because we had Green Steel Pete, right? Like and then Gantu, like these were threats, right? Thankfully, we didn't really see too much of that be problematic in the current heyday for Steel Song right now. But I mean, those are usually my biggest determining factors. Like if the deck truly becomes unplayable, I'm not opposed to trying something else out. But I think in the start, I'll stick to Steel Song. I haven't tried Turnidogs yet. It looks fun. It looks like it just got like super boosted with a lot of good cards. So I'll keep an eye on how that deck performs with the new set. And yeah, I think those will probably be the two color pairings that I'm going to be looking on. Skinner, that is my Discord, so stop messaging me. I'm just kidding. He's not messaging me, but let me get a Discord.
It was me. I will send the message because I hear it just to get him in trouble.
Awesome. Yeah. So great. So and then we have so those are our color pairs. Now I want to dive into a couple of cards that we've picked out throughout the day that we wanted to kind of do a deeper dive on. John, I'm taking a look at your question right now. Do they still use Melee app or do they switch to another app for tournament use? So right now they are in the process of rolling out a new platform for tracking the tournaments. It kind of soft launched and then they disabled access. So we got to access it for like I think 8 hours before it went back down. So as of right now, we're still using Melee. And it, once we have instructions on how to use a new platform and stuff, and if that becomes a requirement, which I assume it will, we'll definitely dive in and make sure we're utilizing that platform correctly. I will share some thoughts on the changes. But if we have some time after the show, because I do have some feedback that I've read online that I think is really important for some people who play this game. So great question, but we'll definitely come back to that. All right, so we're gonna go into our picks. Let's go in reverse this time. Kylie, we're gonna take a look at some of the cards you chose. I'm gonna pull up the slide right now and I'll have you take it away.
All right, so I'll start left to right. First off, down in New Orleans, the only way to make this card more broken was if they made it inkable, bro. I mean, somebody can sing this. Naveen, right? I mean, or any 6-drop. You're looking at the top 3 cards of the deck for an item, a location, or a character, 6 or less, and playing it for free. I mean, I know it's cheesy to think, but you can like ramp on 2, play Naveen on turn 3, play this, and then find, it's a weird color pairing, but over time, like the cards you can find with this will be crazy. Yeah, red blue, definitely crazy in red blue. Like me and Hector were talking about it. You just have to play a little less action so that you don't like kind of whiff. But I think like just the fact that you can play this song for free with a character, and then play something for free, and then still have your ink for the turn is just crazy. Like I feel like this should have been like just a regular action, not a song. But yeah, I think that card like can definitely see play in Core Constructed and 100% in Infinity. Eventually, that card will be insane. Like even getting like a free Tamatoa, yeah, like Skinner said, like even if you don't have an item in the graveyard, just like here's a free Tamatoa. Yeah,
I like it in Blurple too.
Yeah,
Blurple. I play the
Those aren't bad.
lamps.
And then, you know, I got to give some love to Green Blue.
One second, Kylie, before you go into that.
Yeah.
I did have a question on your pick for down in New Orleans. And maybe not so much the pick itself, but kind of how I feel when I look at a card, especially the artwork. Do you feel like the artwork implies the cards that should be playing it? Like you look at a previous character, like for example, Naveen, right? With Singer 6, this is a 6-cost song. But then you look at Yellow Blue and you're like, what am I doing with Yellow Blue that can maximize the use of this song in that combo? And I'm sure there's something there, and maybe I haven't seen it yet, just because I've been tunnel vision into a couple of the other color pairings that I'm interested in. But what are your thoughts on that? Like with the artwork leading into kind of what should be played with it?
No, yeah, 100%. Like you look at this card and you see Naveen and you just like, if you don't know exactly what Naveen does, you just look up the card real quick and you're like, oh, Singer 6, play a
Crazy.
song for free. And you're just like, yeah, okay. It's almost like they're telling you, like, hey guys, play this with Naveen. Let's see it.
I mean, I think it goes also into just any blue because look, you picked a green blue here, right? But imagine the same scenario where you're like, you go, let's say, for example, you TPO on 2, right? And then you ramp, and then on 4, you universal shift the big dude,
The Baymax?
Yo,
the Baymax as a 6, and you
Uh-huh.
sing
Baymax.
this, you sing this to look at the top 3 and get yourself another dude. Like that seems like a pretty nutty curve, right?
No, yeah, it's strong. It's just strong. And it's like if you just build the deck around it. I mean, even right now, like even if you're in like red blue, like your deck right now, like if you hit a Tamatoa, a Maui Shark, Medusa, Rush Maui, a Tremaine, or a McDuck Manor, like I'm gonna cry, bro. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So not only did you just tap your shark and just sing this song, and now you have something else, you still have all your mana. And that's what makes it even scarier is like,
yo,
I
that's
think
broken, bro.
yeah, the most valuable thing in this game is, in my opinion, is like how many songs you can sing,
Yeah.
how many cards you can draw, and how much you can play for free. Like how much ink you can cheese essentially. And this is literally just kind of saying like cheese 12, right? If you get the max, if you get a 6-cost character, because you got the 6-cost song for free, you sung it, and then you got the 6-cost body for free. So there's 12 free ink, and then here you go. Maybe I'm on 6 ink. I'll play another 6-cost, and it's like an 18 ink swing in one turn. It's just insane.
Well,
Insane.
well, notice too. Can I just say one thing real quick? Like, notice, like, well, again, when you start seeing cards like this and you're playing like a song-heavy deck, like take into consideration how many times you may whiff with this, right? Or any,
Yeah. Well,
No.
that's going to be the key, is like to where you like somebody will find the sweet spot to where it's like little bit of songs to where like you'll consistently kind of hit, or hit. Who knows? There might
I
even
like
be
it.
setting up the top of the deck, right? Where you can like, it's in One Piece actually. Where there's a blue card that plays the top card of your deck, and there's another blue card that lets you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and
Yeah.
stack them in any order. So that's what I'm saying. Like further implications, like when you can finally do that, you can set up the top of your deck and like guarantee yourself a hit. Or if you see like, okay, there's nothing here, bottom it all, or even just say, okay, I'm not going to play this song yet because I'm going to whiff. But I mean, eventually, I feel like this, at this, like it's only a super rare, but this is a strong card. I mean, this is a super strong card. Like I said, the only thing that would have made this crazier is making it inkable. But considering like you have TPO, like if it's stuck in your hand, I mean, you're just down in the inkwell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at some of the other cards too. Again, first I looked at some of the more thematic cards. So I looked at the legendary Tiana from Shimmering Skies.
Oh, you love
from
you
Azurite.
love that card that you have to pay to attack.
Right. Yeah. So, but the thing is, so Naveen, whether Naveen was played and then plays down in New Orleans or ends up singing it, right? There's a chance that Naveen lives for another turn if your opponent doesn't have if they value playing something on curve or the ability to pay the 3 to do challenge. Like it creates a really interesting dynamic, and it's something that might be worth exploring. Yellow blue, we have the implied archetype here. We have puppies, which got a huge boost to the set too. So I really feel like Ravensburger is trying to push the yellow blue identity a little bit more this set.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right. Feel free to move on to your next picks.
The next one. So it's so kind of like what Skinner was saying, like, you know, I feel like green blue's been kind of like always verging on like, man, this could be the best thing ever. We just need some pieces. I still don't think these are like the greatest pieces to push it over the edge, but I think that it's really strong. I think that like in like core constructed, when we finally hit rotation, you know, like this go-go, you know, just a 2 cost 1/3. You know, unless some crazy removal comes out, it's really not going to have anything that immediately kind of deals with it. And it's not like a super big threat, but then shifting this other go-go on top of it, you know, even though the shift cost is the same as the card's cost, which I don't love, it's still a 2/2 evasive, and it's essentially a shift, let it go. So it's like I'm going to shift and then I get to let it go, or it's almost like a shift Hades kind of in a way. And then if you shift on this go-go, you're also going to ramp yourself. And I was talking with Mitch about it, and like there's a world too where like if you're just trying to go super fast, you could shift this, ramp yourself, choose your own go-go, and then just put them both in the ink hole and just gain 3 ink that turn, just pass. Like if you're just trying to go fast, like, you know what, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, like with the hero that gives everything evasive and ward, and the Baymax that shifts on anything, and then just having access to morph until the rotation. And some of the like Diablo, right? I know Wotra said this is Diablo's last hurrah. But just a lot of those really good green kind of Floodborne characters in the green blue. I think that like this may be their time to shine. You know, just because it's just a strong package right now. And I think if you can get that hero out and you can just like dominate the board. I mean, you have Clarabelle. Like there's just so many good shift lines. And now that you have this and you can put her on herself or even on morph and just deal with whatever threat could possibly kill her or whatever is like a problem on the other side of the board, I think that like green blue could definitely be a powerhouse. In some ways you may be able to maybe able to use like Ink Geyser even like as like a, you know, yeah, Ink Geyser, and then I'm gonna ramp myself back up. So I definitely think green blue is like definitely gonna be a deck. So I don't know if any of you guys want to touch on that, but my last card obviously had to be my home colors.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to lean a little bit more on Devin here for some feedback here, because I know that he was really exploring green blue, particularly with the Floodborne, and not so much like the inventors keyword, but or characteristic, but more so the Floodborne shift stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty
So-
sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So prior to Ink Geyser coming out, right? Like right as we started seeing the Arcasia's Island come, like, you know, that said, like we were really, really, really trying to make this work, right? And it felt so good when you go turn one, you know, let's just say turn one popsicle, right? Even if you didn't hit bell, turn one popsicle, bell, turn two, Tipo, turn three, the universal shift, right? Into either the removal for the like a let it go, which you know you don't want to ramp them because you're so far ahead, or into what's the I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. It's like my favorite card right now. All is found, right? Insane, or into what was the other card we're looking into? The removal for green, you're welcome, right? Even though they drew it, because the next turn you want to get into your Clarabelle line, whatever the case may be, right? So our biggest problem is that it was a strong curve in the beginning, but then it kind of like died out a little bit because because that universal shift, even if you don't have the Tipo, you saw the bell, you could use the bell to clear something, you put the universal shift to heal itself. It just was like missing something. Like then we try to fit muses in there, then we started trying to cloud kicker, right? It was just like forcing stuff, and then we wanted the whole hero, the Hamada line in there, right? And then now I started switching into something else. But so like I think the problem is that we didn't have cards like this to where you have that on turn, bro. You have a removal that early in the game with a body, and then on top of that, you don't have you can put it on a morph, right? So like it just feels good. And I think that this is exactly what it's needed. But now you add another song like down in New Orleans. I think that deck's is actually gonna be playable now, in my opinion. And I'm excited to see somebody cook up and actually build it. So now I can, every time we see these decks, and Hector could do a test to it. He always says, yeah, but we're like, you're putting too much into one and you're trying to do all these other things, and it's just missing that one thing. I think now it has some resources. I think that it can actually work. So.
Yeah, and I mean, like, what better opportunity to show off that creativity outside of our release event tournaments, right? So, like, now that you have all the cards out, what is it? Today's the 14th, right? We have 17 more days until the event. So, this is the time for the chefs to get in the kitchen and start cooking, because the goal is to definitely see some innovation, right?
Mhm.
And again, like, this will definitely kick off the meta, right? And the next big event after this will let's see, so there's a CCS in the middle of June, right? And then at the end of June we have the Worlds, right? First ever Worlds, right? And we have our very own Zach Bivens attending that. So I'm sure that he's already
when you
trying to
say
figure
Zach
out what
Bivens' name, you gotta say not our very own, but the first world champion.
first world. I need to
Lokai.
put some respect on his name. You're right.
First, you actually told me that the other day. Stefan's the one that came up with that. When Kylie was saying something about Bivens, you said, Kylie, you better say first world champion, because Hector's not in it. Because if Hector was in it, then they would be holding hands with that trophy, right? Right, Hector?
They'd have to tie.
Right, Hector?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it even better when he wins in 2025 and I win in 2026. Oh, good.
Yeah.
There you go.
We have a rule here at
back,
SSG. You
back
can only
to
win it
back.
once. You gotta I'm only kidding. But
Back to back dubs, baby.
Mhm.
But so the last card, right? Hector's sad because it's not a red blue Maui. They finally gave Maui some love to another color. I don't know how great it's gonna be like moving forward, because we don't know how many items there are gonna be. We don't know how many new locations are gonna come out. Manor gets rotated out, I believe. But I just think that like an inkable 6 cost 4/4 is not a bad stat line, but I think the fact that like when it's banished, it's gonna guarantee one of these things. Is just really powerful. I mean, it's just kind of like can fill a void that I think Steel was missing a little bit, to where like you just if you have 2 McDuck Manors out, like I can play this, and I could even kill it myself if you don't want to kill it for me, and boom, like I could quest for 3. I could sing the song. I could sing Zeus on it like the turn after I play it and just let it die, and then just kill the 2 Manors. If you're playing a deck like, I know Zan was playing a ton of items against you, Hector, last tournament. Something like this comes out, and same thing. Like if he doesn't want to kill it, that Steel just allows you to take it out itself, or you just ram it into something. And or even just putting 2 damage on all characters. Like if you're getting aggroed down and you got little guys out here. It is Skinner that has to be banished, but I just like that it's kind of going to guarantee something when it leaves. Like it's not like, if this character quests, then banish a location, right? And then it can just die before it gets to quest. It's when it dies. So it's either like going to quest for 3, it's going to kill something, or it's going to just trade, or at worst ram into something, die, and then do what you needed it to do. I definitely think like against Green Steel right now, like in a mirror match situation, and even against like Steel Songs, the more aggressive builds, like putting 2 damage on all characters is really good. I mean, you can kill Robin Hoods, you can kill Cinderellas, like you can get Daisy halfway there. You kill Diablos. The only fear I would have in like a deck with Rapunzel is like if I leave 2 damage, it kind of gives you a free healing factor. But I don't know. I feel like I kind of like where they're going with these cards that like have an on play that guarantees you something. and when they leave, they guarantee you something because it doesn't feel bad if the card just gets zapped, right? Like Beast.
Kylie, can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna. I heard when you said because when I first saw this, and I guess I wasn't paying attention earlier. Like, there's so many cards going on, so much going on. I thought this was an on play effect, and I'm like, yo, this Maui is broken.
Oh, no, bro.
And now I'm starting to see yeah, I kind of agree because like now when it's banished, you choose one, it just allows someone to play around it.
No,
And
if that was on play, he would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
number one card they ever made, bro.
that's my point. So like, I just feel like this. I feel what this card's gonna remind me of is what's it called? What's his name? The Panther. Fuck the
Bagheera.
Panther, the fun card. Yeah, Bagheera. When that card first came out, like there's speculation. Like I feel like this reminds me of that, right? Like it just damaged all that. This is versatile, right? So you could choose one or the other. But like I just think that when it's banished, it allows someone to play around it, and it's like, like
my only thing is that it's in steel, so I can kill it himself. Like I can literally sing Zeus on it, and boom, I get my effect off. Because I can't tell you how many games I've lost because
but if you do, I don't mean to cut you off, but like, are you doing that for put the 2 damage? Like, what are you trying to accomplish here? Because because if you're doing that, in most cases, you just like, let's just say a location, right? You Zeus, you could just hit for most of the time. One character hits into the location, then you Zeus it. All right. Okay. Now items, maybe that's okay. This is different. But then the other ones put 2 damage count on opposing characters. Why don't you just play swords, right?
Well,
I think, in my opinion,
the thing is that even if you play swords, this is a body with 3 lore, right? So if I bring this out and you're not attacking it, then by the time you get to 6 ink, you should have already have some lore on the board. But then this questing for 3 every turn, it's just it's big, and it requires an answer, right? So I guess what Kylie mentioned, he was saying, oh yeah, but I could kill it myself to get the effect. If you're in that point in the game, then you're already lost pretty much also. But just him coming down, being a 4/4, so he can't be removed easily by like Medusa or like a kill spell other than Zeus. He just questing for 3 is a pretty big threat, but he shouldn't have been like multicolor, right? He should have just been one color, so you could at least play it in more decks.
But the biggest implication, or application I would have for it is like the locations and then the items. Look, I can't say how many games I've lost to blue steel or even red blue because they just slam two manners, and I just can't deal with it, and it just gets too out of hand. That's why, like, if I play this and then I pass, and you're not gonna kill it, I can kind of in my head be like, okay, can I race the 2 manners and just keep doing this guy, and then when he goes away, the manners go away, or do I just need to immediately get this guy off the board? Like get this guy dead so that I can just remove those 2 manners, and that's kind of the. What?
I'm sorry. Again, that's me just jumping the gun. It's all opposing locations. Okay.
Yeah, it's everything.
Yeah,
It's
my
everything.
apologies.
That's where it's like just like I could have swords, but if I top deck swords against like red blue and there's 2 McDuck manners, I'm just like, oh shoot, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I could have Find My Platinum, but if I go up against like Blurple with 0 items, it's just in the inkwell. You know what I mean? But I just feel like this can deal with aggro, it can deal with an item heavy deck, and it can deal with a like a DKP list. That's why I like the card, because I feel like it allows you to have like that versatility, or it's just a body, it's just a beat stick. Like Hector said, like, hey, if I'm at 10 lore and you don't have a huge board, you have no items, you have no locations, I still slam this guy down, and you still have to deal with this guy questing for 3.
I agree.
Yeah, this card to me screams toolbox, right? So a lot of opportunity for you to utilize Maui, and again, I was waiting until at least Hector said something, but I do find the card good, despite it needing to be banished. Because again, yes, like these are great stats for a 6-drop, and if you are not answering Maui, he'll just take the game, right? So like you're kind of like forced in a position where. If you're not playing a color that can handle a character removal other than through some type of banish, I'm thinking like blue for Let It Go, or You're Welcome. Ironically, right, has Maui on it, but like those are the only safe ways to get rid of him. Otherwise, you can expect to receive one of these three um, items that or abilities that can happen when he's banished.
Yeah.
But I think it's a solid pick. And in an effort to kind of to keep the train rolling, I do want to roll into Hector's pick right now. Hector's got 5. All right, so I'll let him. He's gonna do the lightning round on
I'll
his
do
really
them
quick.
The first one, Arthur, he's just extremely overstated.
Mhm.
Same scenario as Maui. He quests for 3. Right, I see he skips your draw step, but in blue, if you ramp into him, like I think the trade off is extremely worth it, just because he's so big. Like a 6/6 on turn 4, especially on turn 3, if you're on the play, just seems like unstoppable. Puts already a 7-turn clock, right? So once he comes out on 3, it's either you're trading 2 guys into him, or this guy's going to get me 10 lore by himself. So I think he's extremely good. Now, I do think he's going to be better after the rotation, just because it will kind of suck if you go with this and then they Maui him, right? Like Rush Maui. So when the rotations come out, if Maui's gone, then this guy is just going to be insane. Like, think about it. And in Blue Steel, the colors seem to be pretty decent. You have ramp, you have removal, you have big bodies. So he could just run away with the game just because he's so big, right? And then if there's not much removal, it's impossible. How do you get rid of a 6/6?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
actually has a shift the turn after. He has a
Oh
5.
my god, yeah.
He has a shift 5. It's nothing great with like the on play effect, Hector.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the other Arthur, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Ray's excited about this.
you can shift it, and then you could sing the song, I don't even, the Dino or whatever, down in New Orleans. You could literally shift it the next turn and sing that song, and then you're back to having your draw step.
Yo, hold on a second, real quick. You have an acronym for it already?
Dino, bro.
Yo, that's crazy.
Dino.
That's hot. Did you get that from someone else, or did that
Yeah,
you?
Mitch said that to me today. I said, "What the hell?"
Shout out to Mitch, man. He just wins tournaments here. He doesn't show up, and then he just, he wants to hold the belt. Shout out to Mitch, man.
Mitch,
Shout out
bro.
to Mitch.
I'm like, Mitch, what the hell are you talking about? Dino. There's that blue card, bro, with that guy on it.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
I'm like, oh yeah, okay. No,
Did-
Mitch wants
did
it in
Evan
green
just
blue.
make a
Mitch
Mean
thinks
Girls
green blue is
reference?
better.
I did, baby. Come on.
All right, you are a man of culture.
That's actually one of my favorite movies. Shout out to Mean Girls.
All right. Since you guys are talking about Mean Girls, I'm gonna go to my next card. Into the Unknown. I just think it's a good card. Another removal for Blurple. I think they kind of needed this. It's actually a song and is inkable. It's insane.
So why do you think they needed this? Bell can sing this, bro. They did not need this.
I know. I
They did
mean,
not need
Do
it.
we need it though? Let me ask you a question.
They
Let me
did
say
not
this.
need this.
As someone that plays blah, blah, but you have to make sure you exert one of their characters, right? Like,
that's still fine.
They
What are you gonna
exert
do?
their
What are
own
you gonna do? You're not gonna
problem.
attack me? Don't attack me. Sure. You're
Yeah.
gonna eventually
Yeah,
turn
but-
it sideways.
I guess it's like, since we're taking out, like, I don't know, Crab's not going to be there, so it's a good, like,
No, it's just still
I don't know.
it's just an extra removal. The deck doesn't like the deck. I guess was playing Hades, was playing 1-for-1 removal, and this is just another like a song that could remove any character that's tapped like for free, right? And then on top of that, you play Elsa's to tap characters, so it just makes a removal for pretty much anything. It's a cheaper Let It Go also, which is and like Kylie said, imagine you could turn
Right.
one Bell
Bro,
and have options with it. It's just
no, you're right. You're right, because you know how many plays that you have your little Maui shark on board on having evasive, and I'm like, huh, and he's already tapped, and I go like this, boom.
And even, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Or even in the earlier turns, if you have something threatening that's hitting you hard, like
Yeah.
for a lot of lore, you could just hard cast this for 3 ink. So it makes it.
You're right.
I think it's still a good card. I think this is gonna be an enchanted.
If
Oh
you
my god, don't say that.
I
If
think
you
this
miss
is gonna
ramp,
be an enchanted.
Ooh.
ramp, you can always like ramp you can always ink
Yeah,
your-
like Skinner says, yeah, you could sing turn 2.
yeah.
You
Just
sing
like
it on your own bell and you ink it.
It's like a ramp spell. It literally becomes a ramp spell if you miss ramp.
Yeah.
on two. Like an emergency ramp if you don't want to get off
Yeah.
curve.
Or
Yeah.
even to a TPO, right? Like to your own TPO. Like there's a lot of stuff you could do too. Because a lot
Yeah.
of times you don't want, sometimes you just don't want to turn sideways to give them value
Yeah.
as well. So this is good to,
I think
right.
so. I think my general like opinion on this set is like most of these cards are coming out are meant to be for post rotation, right? So you're seeing some of these cards where actually most of them are like you see some of these effects. Like I'm gonna get to the last 2 cards on my little list here. That most of these effects seem broken, but right now in the regular meta, they're not as completely broken because you have too many answers to these cards, right? But the moment
Yeah.
post rotation hits, some of these cards are gonna start becoming a lot more decent. In a scenario where like you're talking about Blurple, right? When Let It Go gets rotated out, you got this. So just replacements. The Arthur, when there's no Maui, this guy is 6'6" on curve. This guy's gonna be impossible. Either you trade 3 guys into him or 2 guys and a song, and it's just it puts you so far ahead. I think that for skipping a draw step is fine, right? And then you can still draw cards anyways,
Or
like any other way.
your turn 1 bell just sings Into the Unknown and kills it.
Yeah, but that's fine.
I'll give you another Mean Girls reference, Devin. He's saying Belle to sing it. It's like she doesn't even go here.
Yeah, wrong movie, but she's gonna do it all day.
All right. Well, my next card, I got the Killer Whale. I think this is another good card, just because he's a big style. Look, Devin, I think this in Blurple will be pretty decent. Also,
Yeah.
just because you ramp into him and he's inkable first of all, which makes him better. He's just a huge body. At worst, he'll clear 2 guys on board, and you could just like swing into something, discard to untap him, and leave him untapped.
Mhm.
And or like let's say you just have him on the board, like how are they going to answer this guy unless it's like B prep or Let It Go?
Well,
You'll quest and then you just restand him so he doesn't
Well,
die.
well, I actually like him. So like for example, I like having him like think of a play where you play him, right? You know, rush, discard a card, right? So you clear and then you discard a card, ready him, and then now you have access to sing your songs like Let It Go, ready him again, right? But
Yeah.
imagine multiple friends. How many friends you have because you're drawing cards anyways, right? Like you're gonna have access to discard cards anyways, and you could use him to sing multiple times. I think it's crazy.
He gets stopped by 2 cards though.
What?
Remember, first one is Into the Unknown. Second one, Jiminy Cricket, bro.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
little
that's
cricket.
a nasty one.
That
I mean,
little cricket, bro. That little cricket. He's like, you're in my movie, but you ain't shit. Yeah, Jiminy Cricket says as long as he's exerted, any character on play with Rush comes in exerted.
so you have to discard right off the rip then.
All right, so people have to start playing Jiminy Cricket. That's fine.
Yeah,
I think you're right, Hector. Though, like I think that this card is.
I think it's
it's
just
good.
I think it's necessary.
and it's inkable. If he was uninkable, then I think he will kind of suck.
It demands removal, which is definitely problematic. Like it demands it. Like you have
Again,
to do something.
when you play when after rotation, when there's not much removal, like this guy's just if you get to him, it's just a big body and you're just not gonna be able to remove him.
But why aren't we talking about how many times you can sing in one turn with this guy?
The problem is that you got to discard cards from hand, right? So you don't have
Okay.
unlimited cards.
Yeah, but you do when you're drawing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you're in the most draw heavy.
bro, like you're literally sit there, friends, boom, sing. Okay, I drew a card. I'm gonna discard it. I'm gonna ready him again, another sing, and then you have multiple Let It Goes. I think it's crazy. You
Yeah,
can
that's
use him to clear 3. Like think about it. You have
Yeah, he's
multiple
not
Let It
once
Goes.
per turn, bro.
Dude,
He's
it's
not once per turn.
crazy.
Crazy, bro.
I love this card. I think this card's so broken. I think it's necessary.
You know
in
what's
Marvel.
worse? You could pass the turn with him standing, so that Into the Unknown doesn't even get him.
Bro, this card's
Exactly.
crazy.
So you quest with him, and if he's like low on health, then you just like stand him, right? So he doesn't die.
Yeah.
So
No, yeah, it's nuts.
Yo, I think you need to phone your boy Mitch for this one, Kylie. Since you
That's
guys
it.
want to make acronyms
Mitch.
together, yeah. Why don't you get
Listen, bro.
Monstro with this?
That the monster.
Hector, I think you're onto something with this
He
card.
doesn't need like another name, bro. It is literally in his name, Monstro,
Hector,
infamous whale.
I'm telling you,
That's it.
this
That's all I
card is broken. The same way you.
Yeah,
this
I think
card's
it's
broken.
a good card. One of the good cards in the set, in my opinion.
No, yeah, this
Oh
is
my
definitely
god,
good.
this is so broken.
I think like it's easier to deal with in Infinity format.
Yeah, of course. But then
Like unless we see something crazy and fabled, this card definitely is gonna be a
I need to
problem.
ask a pro for a second, okay? Stefan, since you love singing in this game, if you had access to this card while you were singing, what's your thoughts on this?
So I actually do have access to this. So in Steel Song, I've been known to play Sven, which has a very similar effect. You only get it once. However, yes, readying a character and getting like, let's say like either quest or challenge value first, readying them, and then where the way the card reads is that it can't do anything else but pretty much sing. And I mean, you can even ask, and I know that if Ray is still here, he constantly reminds me of the time that I was able to, what was it? I think I sang with a singer, like for removal, readied with Sven, sang Whole New World. Like it was just, like if I got to do that once, the ability to do it multiple times at the cost of discarding a card, I do see a possibility for there to be some really overpowered plays here.
Bro, this guy can sing Dino multiple times a turn, bro.
And you guys are thinking too much into
Oh
this.
my!
He could
I
come
disagree.
in. He could come in and turn 2 of your crappy cards in hand into a removal just by him swinging at things, right? Since he has rush,
Yeah.
like let's say you're playing like you love playing Steel Song, right? You turn sideways, you're Daisy and your 2 other dudes, and I'm not. Here comes the whale. He runs over Daisy on tap, runs over Ariel on taps,
whale.
on
Bro,
tap,
he's
runs over.
broken.
He runs over everything, right? So you could just keep on tapping him to clearly. He's like a Scar in a sense, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a Scar. He's a Scar with an activated ability. So this is the only reason I'm gonna feel a little safe playing discard at this event. Is like if you have no hand, you can't use his ability, right? So
Listen, I'm just saying right now, since one more time, I know I keep going on this. I'm playing this blurple build that I'm playing, with lamps. My hand size at all times because of the lamp with Jafar. I'm telling you right now, Hector, you're not playing. I've been playing. Bro, I have so much cards in hand as it is. I'm bouncing things with lamp. This card is crazy. I'm telling you, bro. This card is
Yeah.
crazy. And then you have popsicle so you can heal it. Oh my god, bro.
Not even that. You have access to Bell, which is common
just
in Blurple
moves it
too,
all
so
off,
you can
yeah.
just move
Bro,
the damage.
Bro.
Like there's gonna be a lot of flexibility. I have
you
a feeling that this could be this set's Maui.
Maui, bro.
Yeah. Yes,
You can
bro.
hit something,
Enchanted?
kill it.
Not
Res-
necessarily enchanted,
again,
but just
You guys
the
are
fact-
sleeping on this card.
No, listen. You can hit something,
No.
kill it, restand it, sing Dino, find the bell,
You
play
and
the
this
bell,
Dino,
move the
bro.
damage off of it.
Bro,
And you're
what
just
other
like, yo, here's a free bell. Your card's dead.
I
Hey
think this card's
Kylie, I have a
broken.
question for you. Do you plan on playing the lotto after that? Because that is if that happens in that game, you deserve the win.
Let me
Bro,
tell you
this is
something.
this is
Ready?
Larcanum, bro.
Let
You
me
know how
tell you
many
something.
times the sack happens, bro?
Let me tell you something. They ramp. Boom, boom, boom. I play this guy. Boom. Play him. Right? And I play him, rush, hit it, discard, sing, let it go. Sing friends, get more cards. This card's crazy, bro. I love this card.
All right, watch out for Devin. If he's playing Blurple, he has 4 monsters in his deck.
Yo, I love this card.
All right. I'm gonna move on to my next one. This little Madrigal dude. It might not be good now, just because, like I said, we're still not in rotation. But based on seeing this card, we're already starting to get into the position of the game where they're starting to power creep stuff, and the game is going to start picking up, and they're going to start letting you search. Right, whenever a game gets into this position, it's already, that means it's going to get a little crazier. But as of now, there's only been like a couple of cards that let you search the deck, and they're like very strict on how you do it. Right. For example, I think in one of the other sets, there's a Merlin that if you shift, then he searches for any card in the deck. Right. There hasn't been like much play on him, obviously, because you need to play Merlins. But we're already getting into the territory where other cards are coming out where you search your deck for several cards. Right. So I wouldn't put it past them. Like in the next future sets, we start to get like tutors, or we start to get like an archetype where they got these 2 colors, so you're forced to it. But we're already stepping into it. So I felt like this card needed some mention. Because if you sing something, you search your deck for 3 costs or less, I think that's pretty cool. Right. On top of that, he's inkable, quest for 2. So I think it's a pretty good card.
Yeah,
They
I
had
have a
to
feeling
pull it
that Amethyst Amber is going to end up being one of the de facto song decks moving into Core Constructed, and I'm excited. Like I do like songs in general, and if the deck ends up becoming very powerful, it'll probably be a deck that I'll explore. But I do like that, and I hope to see more of that in Disney Lorcana, where other color pairings get an opportunity to become like the de facto like hard removal deck and stuff like that. And so that way it doesn't necessarily stay in line with Ruby or Steel, perhaps, but seeing the influence of the foundation of the ink be part of the removal, right? So I've always mentioned like it would like I would love to see a Sapphire board wipe someday that says ink all characters on board, something like that, when B prep is no longer an option.
Okay.
I'm scared for a world where there's no B prep.
Well, there will be. It'll be a super ramp for both players in Sapphire.
Now maybe they'll reprint B prep. Who knows? I'm waiting for that enchanted B prep from Set Champs. Oh, it's gonna be pretty.
I feel like it's such an iconic card that like they're gonna have to
They need it. Yeah.
bro. If it was inkable, okay, that'd be a different story. But like, I think like certain staples they have to like. There's certain cards they have to keep in the set, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, there's not much removal in the game. So if you don't like keep making removal or at least keep it in the game is just gonna get crazy. Where like nothing like nothing you get off the board. Like a good example, this Arthur, right? If you don't have removal, like this Arthur is just gonna kill you in like 4 turns. Not by himself, but it's just he's so overstated.
Yeah, I think Brawl leaves and B prep stays.
Bro, you get to put Alice with that card.
Yeah, so imagine you go.
No.
Imagine you're on the play, right? And you play Alice on 3,
Yeah.
4, this on 4, and then on 5 you're questing for 7, right? And if you had a Smee on board that's already quested twice, oh my god, it's
The crazy thing is too is like you just quest with the Alice to give him the ward, so he's standing with ward, and there's nothing that can happen to him.
no. But if you have him with Alice, it's just impossible. Like unless you have Maui, you cannot clear this board. You just lose automatically.
Nah, I just use Monstro, bro.
Oh my!
Bye, bye, Arthur. You ain't no king yet. You're not gonna be able to be a king because Monstro's
Well,
coming in.
you
next
have to see if you're alive by then, because Arthur's coming down on 4.
week. I'm alive.
Yeah,
Arthur's coming down on 3. We're
Ideally,
ramping.
Blurple. Where's Blurple at when Blue Steel? Well, I mean, they're both ramping, to be honest. So, like, honestly, it's whoever gets the better curve based on ramp
Yeah, but not
probably is going to win the power struggle there.
Not with
They just need to ramp once or twice though. Blurple to Monster is gonna need like 2 more ramp.
I'm ramping and I'm getting Monstro. And you could have.
But I think that Antonio, they definitely had to like color lock it a bit.
Yeah, you can't put it just for one color. Like it's not
Yeah.
possible. If you put it for purple or yellow, you could just people would just put them in there just because. Like,
Can I say
Let's
something real
purchase.
quick? These magical cards are, if you read a lot of them, they're really broken. I'm surprised somebody hasn't developed this deck yet. Like even some
Well-
of these past cards, bro, they tutor like this. A lot of them do, bro.
No, yeah, they do. But it's kind of like synergy. It's almost like back when we played Lorcana Classic. Like it's all like the magical cards, but they don't have like the oomph. They have good
That's
cards.
what I'm saying.
not
They
like the-
have
Yeah, if
usurp-
you looked at the starter from Ursula's Return, you were like, this is a cute deck. But as they added cards in future sets, you're like, okay, this is getting better.
Yeah.
And then, oh my goodness, this is an archetype now.
Why do you?
Yeah,
to
because
push
if you put cards in there, you're like, oh yeah, we're searching and searching and searching, but what are we searching for? What's gonna win
Yeah,
me the
exactly.
game, right?
What's gonna win me the game?
I feel like they're really trying to push this archetype. I feel like every set something with magical in it, right? Like
No, yeah, they're definitely making it better. But I feel like this guy wants like Clawhauser on 3, the Singer 4 bodyguard, they quest for 2. Because you play him on 4, you immediately sing with Clawhauser. You have a bodyguard down protecting him, and you tutor something. Like you could tutor another Clawhauser, you could tutor Imperial. Right now, you could tutor Fox, you could tutor Crab.
I love crab. I love
Um,
dogs.
Like there's a lot of like good 3 drops in this color pairing right now that you can just go grab. And like imagine like you put down 2 bodyguard singers with this guy, and it's whenever one character sings. So like if you
Or
have 2
even-
Clawhausers, you're getting 2
So
characters.
can I just say something? Yeah, because even that so imagine
Well, it says once during your turn, not you don't get it multiple
Oh,
times.
once. You're right. I thought it was whenever.
yeah, that would be broken.
Dude, I thought we were just singing for days, bro.
No, but it's still not bad if you play it in. Let's say if you're playing the yellow purple like hyper aggro, right? If you're playing some of those burn songs, like if you just play this and then you play a song, then you search your deck for another bodyguard or another card that just burns, like anything. It opens up possibilities. Maybe like I said, after rotation with more sets, it'll become playable. But now I just like the mechanic because there hasn't been a card like this other than the Merlin. So I just thought it was a good card, and we're getting to that stage in the game where we're gonna start searching like tutors. I wouldn't be surprised if they start doing something in the future where like, you play this card, you look at the top 5, and you get like an ally or a hero or a prince or a princess, something like that. You know what I mean? Like something
Yeah,
like
like Ariel, but
Well,
better.
can I say something cool though? Say notice how on the bottom right it says put that card in your hand, and then it says shuffle your deck, right? Note like, and the reason why I say this, 'cause I feel like people don't realize it. Most of these other cards just say just put it in the bottom of your deck in any order. So think about that. Like this is one of the not. I think Magical's the only cards in this game that allows you to actually shuffle your deck. Because Hector, how many times do you, or even yeah, how many times? I don't know if you ever played the item version of like blue red or blue steel, where like you whiff, like we played Donald, and you whiff an item, and all your good cards go on the bottom of the deck, and now you can't draw into your Tamatoas, can't draw into this because everything's on the bottom of the deck. But this actually allows you to shuffle your deck. So anything that came to the bottom, you get what I'm saying? I think people don't realize it because a lot of
No,
times,
yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
definitely
the
powerful.
same happens with Ariel, right?
Yeah.
Like, sure, I'm looking for a song, but there goes the rest of my curve right to the bottom of the deck.
yeah,
well, it's that you have to like usually when the mechanic says when you're searching the deck,
You have
the
to.
problem is if you have to shuffle because it has to say shuffle because how broken would it be if you're searching your deck for anything and then I see the top 10 cards of my deck and I know what's coming, right? So it has to shuffle. There's no way in hell that you could say search your deck and then just leave it as is. It's
well,
not
it could say look for a card, shuffle the deck, then put those remaining cards back in. You know what I'm saying? But I guess what I was trying to get at is, yeah, I agree with you. They have to do that. But what I'm saying is that every other card that does like search the top 5, you're putting cards that you need to win the game when you whiff. Even when you don't whiff, you get a card and you put it on the bottom of the deck. Now you're not going to have access to that for the rest of the game. Essentially.
No, yeah,
Unless-
tutors are always stronger than like
yeah. So
top deck searchers.
that's what I was meaning to. The beginning, like a lot of these earlier like bootleg tutors that we were talking about, they'll say search your deck for a card and put it on top, right? But now
Yeah.
we're getting into a territory where it's like search your deck for a card.
Yeah.
You know, so we're already getting to the more broken end of the game.
I'm calling it now. Power line's gonna be on play. Search your deck for any song and play it, bro. Sing it.
Bro, that's it. Stop.
What is it?
Power creeping Naveen.
They told me that Power Line would be the strongest singer they ever made. On
said that.
play, search your deck for any song.
That's retarded. Stop.
Who's they? Your uncle that works at Ravensburger?
They said it in the live thing.
Did they really?
The most
Yeah.
powerful, he's probably
That's
no,
subjective.
They said he'd be the most powerful singer they ever made.
that could be a lot of things. It could mean that he could sing any song, right?
Yeah, it could be like
not-
a
Not a
singer
singer,
infinity.
not a
Singer
singer
10,
5,
bro.
6,
Singer
not
10.
even a three cost
Singer- singer 9.
unlimited
No.
singer. Like
No,
just
I'm telling you right now.
First off,
Search
you
your deck
laugh.
for any
There's a-
song and play it, bro.
There is a song that's a 10. That's 10.
Yeah, I know.
Starts at a- was it?
Singer 10, bro.
yeah.
Power line, singer 10.
Cards, bro.
all right. I'm
Singer.
gonna get to my 5th card before you guys like boo me out of the show.
Pinocchio the goat.
All right. I picked Pinocchio just because I thought it was a cool card. Like I said, disclaimer, I think it'll be a lot better post rotation because right now you got too many things. You got Brawl, you got the Peter Pan with Rush, so they'll just run into it and kill it. So I think after rotation it'll be a lot better card. After rotation, there's not many crazy evasives. First of all, him being inkable for 4, I think it's still pretty decent. And if you play him and you could protect him, he could just draw you cards every turn, which is a nice little gimmick effect. And questing for 2 is not bad. So I think this could be one of the cards that we'll see play maybe later on.
You know what this reminds me of? Is what it's going to remind me of? Genie. Remember when genies were literally not playable? No one played Genie, and it was like a $3 card, $4 card. Hector, what did you say? This
Bro.
card's going to be crazy.
You guys did not listen to me. I walked into the shop and Genie because it was the day of the tournament. We had a tournament. We had a release tournament, and genies on TCG Player were like $2. Were like $2. I don't remember who I told. I think Kylie or somebody. I told somebody, hey, grab this stack of genies and put them aside because this is not going to be a $2 card. And then the next, I think they sold out. People bought them, and next, Genie was at the
It
time.
was a couple weeks later. Too. We gave
It
us
was like 20. It was like $20, and we're like,
like
oh my god.
$20 for regular rare.
No, I think the high, the peak was 30.
For
Not
like
kidding with you.
a
For a
regular
regular
rare.
rare. Yeah,
That was insane.
This card
that
is
was
good.
crazy.
I don't love that you can't tap it like that. It's not immediately tapped. Like I'd like to find a way to immediately tap it so that the first turn after I can draw a card off of it, but I think that it definitely has potential because it just survives a lot of things.
Okay, but also see it this way. Let's say you you don't it doesn't it says once during your turn, whenever you ready this character, you may draw a card. So let's say you protect at the same turn, right? Let's say you quest for 2, and in that turn you untap it with like an effect, you draw a card also. Because it's once per turn, right? So let's say you bring it out and you quest for 2, and then you play LeFou, and LeFou untaps them so you can keep them alive. You draw a card and you pass. And then the following turn, so instead of you waiting for them to attack, like for it to untap naturally during your turn, you could untap it after you attack with it, and you still draw a card. Right?
Yeah.
So it's
What
still
color combo are you thinking?
no
purple?
red untaps it. Yeah, red purple with. There's a lot of stuff.
This is
Like
a
red,
Ray card then.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even think you necessarily like you don't have to have an immediate effect. Sometimes when you have these, when you play with any type of purple deck, right? Like, oh, again, I'm only saying this because I'm a big purple guy, bro. If I'm mid to late game and like there's not much going on and like you're trying to like top deck and like try to get more momentum, having this in play, like bro, like okay, maybe just getting value one time, even 2 times, you're like, okay, this is value, this is worth it, right? It's not necessarily have to be on curve. Everyone thinks every time I have I'm having conversations with people, it's always about curve. And it's always about I want to play this on curve and like it's not good.
Of course, you play it to the board, right? Like for example, if you're gonna quest with it and your opponent, and I have the card in hand that untaps it, so I draw the card. If you're gonna quest and your opponent can't answer it, then I'm not gonna untap it right then and there. I'll just wait, get the free card, right?
Yeah.
And then the following turn you can just keep doing it. But
Or
it's just a nice little gimmick that, and on top of that, it has evasive. So
yeah,
not everything, and and having 4 health is still not bad. So
Yeah,
I
I was
think
about
it's
to
just-
mention that, like, you guys are worried about it getting removed, but you have to remember that evasive is a keyword that not a lot of other color pairings have the opportunity to deal with. And even like, let's say that you were dealing with, I don't know, a Diablo and a Cove, right? It's going to have to be Diablo and a Cove plus some removal. So they're definitely going to have to throw some resources at it. Granted, it doesn't crack back, but I think this card sees more play, you know, regardless of the removal that we have available to us. And just because it's like one of those things where if we don't have an answer for it,
yeah,
it kind of lives very similar to akin to like leaving a Diablo Devoted Herald on the board.
You know what I like about this too? The Jiminy Cricket, not only does the artwork like tie into it, but it also synergizes with protecting the card. So like Shadow Finder and stuff like that.
Love Shadow Finder.
If you have Jiminy Cricket out and tapped, they can't play Rush Evasives to just kill your Pinocchio.
But
You have
remember,
to kill the Jiminy Cricket first.
But remember, that's why I said after rotation, right? So after
100%. But I like how they
all Peter Pans and alls are going to be gone. I think.
Yeah.
They came out of
But I
set
like
three.
how
Really?
they yeah.
That was set what?
Set
Chap-
3. I think
both of
3
them
or
were?
4. I think
Yeah.
one of them was set 3 or 4. Yeah.
3 or 4. But I just like how they're kind of like saying like, hey, play these 2 cards together. They're kind of like dropping the hint.
Yeah, you
Like
love
through the
that.
artwork, through the synergy. And it's kind of neat because like it's kind of cool like for some people that really like the lore of the game and like the movies and stuff where you're like, okay, I can have Jiminy protecting Pinocchio, which is his exact goal in
Yeah, that's cool.
you know what I mean? And it's like I think it's kind of neat and especially when it can actually work. And I really think, like Hector said, after rotation, I really think this actually works. Like I think you can play Jiminy Cricket on 2, you play X card on 3, you play Pinocchio on 4, and you're just kind of like, all right, now deal with my Pinocchio. And, if we don't have any removal that just easily outs that, Pinocchio just kind of sits there and it's like it's for us to find something to where we might have to play that card with, I think Thumper on it. It's like a 1-cost red and you give anything evasive. So you might just have to like give Monstro evasive and like red. No, it's too heavy in red probably to get to an 8-cost, but you know what I mean? You just might have to give something evasive for 1 if this Pinocchio kind of becomes problematic and we don't have removal that deals with it.
Yeah.
Nice. Those are some solid picks, Hector. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go into my picks. I'm going to lightning round this though. So with that being said, it's no surprise that I've chosen a couple of amber and steel cards. I chose Goofy first because I did see a list that I shared with Kylie earlier today, with Goofy and Steel Song, and I just think it synergizes well with Smee. And I'm thinking ahead too with some of the synergies that we're going to be expecting with Aurora, the 3-cost Singer 5 from Arcasia's Island. You know, given if we do not have access to Ariel and Fabled, that's most likely going to be our Singer 5 if we're not devoting ourselves to a shift line. And it synergizes well with the whole heal ready aspect. So pretty decent stats for a 4-cost inkable. And it's Goofy, right? We all love Goofy. My next pick is Lady. When this card was revealed, I was just like, oh, this is. I know that this is intended for Chernadog deck, but there's a world where this could be introduced into either Steel Song or like a Diggity Hole style. Just again to like just putting out threats and like bodies on the board, and I think that's really critical because you can do like Lady and an Ursula or Lady and a Troubadour, and it just you like your opponent's only gonna have so many answers. Like, do I deal with this lady or do I deal with the singer, right? And that's one of my favorite things to do when playing Steel Song is doing the famous 3/1 drops by turn 2 because it gives me so many avenues and lines that I can take this game, and I think Lady can help with that a lot. My next one is Desperate Plan. I'm looking at Desperate Plan, and I'm almost getting like, if there is a world, no pun intended, where a whole new world doesn't make it into the new rotation, I feel like cards like Desperate Plan, Rapunzel, Doc are going to be really strong in any Amber Steel deck, and this one screams a little, you know, kind of like the support into draw for those. It definitely also helps the Ruby Steel decks as well too, since they're lacking in draw. And I've included that one with Namari as well, because I think Namari is probably one of the most fantastic printed steel legendaries I've seen in any set. I'm sorry, Gantu from the first chapter, but Namari takes the crown. No pun intended. I just realized she's reaching for the Hexwell crown. Man, I am on a roll.
I agree with what Jack said. Jack said something about, he says that it's better in steel, the lady. I was gonna say the same thing. It's like in Chernadog, you usually want to you empty your hand by turn 3 anyways, right? You ideally want to go turn 1 1 drop, turn 2 double 1 drop. So by the time you get to turn 3 in ink, you're barely gonna have cards in hand. So I feel like this card could be good in like Steel Song or like in any steel. Just but it's still pretty broken.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
dropping
I'm definitely looking
a
into play for
Smee
those.
or a
is there-
Troubadour is nuts.
Is there
Yeah.
a card that says whenever one of your cards returns the hand, you gain a lore? Not your opponent, but
Like you, the goat.
no, I'm talking about like an item or a location.
There is the Maleficent stuff, I think.
No, it's
Your
one of your opponent's characters. What I'm talking about, like one of yours.
No, I don't know.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
No, I know that there is a new combo that Lumiere and like Royal Tantrum could possibly pull off, and eventually Geppetto might be problematic if you want to just cheese lore. But like Royal Tantrum says destroy all your banish all items, and then Lumiere says he gets +1 for all the items you banish this turn. So if you banish 10 items, you quest for 11.
Did you know another synergy I saw too was the Sapphire Tinkerbell from Inklands that says when one of your items is banished, you can put it in the inkwell as well.
Oh yeah. You just have
So-
all 3 of those out. You get rid of 10 items, ramp 10, gain 11 lore. Just like
No
obliterate
problem.
the game.
Just Sapphire things, no problem.
Yeah, and then Geppetto says when you quest, Geppetto, bro, Geppetto discard as many item cards from your hand as you want when you quest, and you gain that much lore. So if you have 5 items in hand, you pitch all 5, you gain 5 more lore.
Awesome. I'm gonna head back into Namari though. So like with Namari being one of my favorite printed legendaries, I think she is a solid support into one of the areas that Steel Song lacks that is high strength. Whether it's for dealing with opposing characters on board or locations, right? And Steel Song deck does not have a hard time getting cards into the discard pile, whether it's through play, through your characters being banished, or by you playing a whole new world, right? And then when she is played, she even kicks off getting her first strength anyway. So, she can be a very powerful threat. And then, if she's not dealt with, she's going to continue getting more and more powerful. And just rereading the card, I totally missed the fact that it's not only when you play her, but at the start of your turn, you can draw and then choose to discard a card. So, like double draw, digging for some answers, some outs, some ways to close the game, and then just continuing to grow her is just, I love her. I'm really looking forward to grabbing a couple copies of her and testing her out once the new set releases.
Yeah, you have 2 Namari cards on here, bro. You're simping hard right now. You are simping.
Well, I mean,
hard.
like she, if you look at previously printed Namaris, she really didn't get much love as far as like play, like, and it's nice to see other representation of other Disney properties doing pretty well. And I think they did a really good job with designing Namari. I think she's very fair for a steel deck, and I'm looking forward to not only seeing her in Amber Steel decks, but definitely in like Ruby Steel. So I'm definitely gonna have an eye on her.
Ruby Steel, bro. That's gonna be gross.
But yeah, I mean, so we made our picks, right? And I think it's a perfect opportunity for us to kind of segue into talking about what we're playing when it comes to the Reign of Jafar release event, right? So without further ado, I do want to share the graphic we have for the 4K scaling tournament. I do have a QR code up here on the top left-hand side. If you haven't signed up yet, you want to sign up. And I'm not going to tell you why. I'm actually going to pass it off to Devin, because prior to this call, Devin had some changes he wanted to make to the tournament. So without further ado, Devin, why don't you jump in on this?
Devin bullied us.
First and foremost, guys, they tried to put me in a cage, right? And I couldn't spread my wings in a cage. The cage was small, it had compact, so I just couldn't move. So you know what I said? No one's putting me in a cage. So you know what I said? That 4, I wanted to do another number, but my teammates suggested that we do this. So moving forward, as of right now, that 4 was an illusion, okay? It's now turning into an 8-case event, and it's still scaling, guys. All right? Still scaling. And we have to do it big. Yep, there it is. Boom. See the 8 shining. And what's very interesting is that tune in for our other podcasts leading up to the event, because there might be some more surprises. But until then, just know that it's an 8-case event. Go and tell everybody, tell your friends, tell your teammates, tell your whoever was on the fence, or I may have something going on that weekend. This is where they cancel their plans and come to SSG for the 8-case event. No one's doing it like us in the most humbling way, shape, or form. Don't miss this event. It's going to be crazy. I know everyone has the FOMO of it, but now the FOMO is here. Don't miss this, please. I'm only saying that because it's going to get crazy. We're going to have some cool deck techs. We're going to have it's going to be fun. I can't wait. The most humble.
Devin, I did want to let you know that I am putting in a request to take off, so I am playing in this tournament since it's now an 8-case tournament. So just go ahead and we can handle that with HR after the call.
That's fine. If you want to play in the event, you're more than listen. I always say you do whatever you want. But if you want the stream and the everything else not to be running smoothly, and you want to take that chance, so be it. Go ahead.
No, we definitely have the support.
I'm kidding.
We're gonna have I don't know if Jason's watching this, but Jason, you're gonna be on. Okay, you're gonna be taking care of the things while I collect my boxes in the top cut.
It's not even about the boxes, Devin. Remember, this is the last event that you can qualify for the invitational.
Yeah, guys, listen. Yeah, oh my God,
you guys haven't thought about that? What Kylie's cooking up over there? You guys don't even know. I've already heard a little bit, and is looking promising. So you definitely want to try to make it out. We're trying to, we got to hit like 100 players to get the the top cut to top 16. So let's try to make that happen. And if you know Devin, every week, you know what, I'm making a call for the team right now. We might cancel next week's podcast because we don't know what's going to happen next week.
Do you guys want to know why they had a four case? Because we have we have access to X amount of cases already, right? And they wanted just to open them for whatever reason. I said no, give it to everyone else, guys.
We wanted him to open it, bro.
Listen.
From
Yeah,
Devin,
we're also friends. And you know why I said not up in here. All right, this is for everyone else. Kylie is the number one. They call me the Ripper. Kylie calls me the Ripper. But the reality is, it's him, Stefan. How many times do you see Kylie come in there with the hands when the new set comes out? You know why? So Kylie has a master set of Enchanteds, guys. All right, he has a master set, and he likes to sneak the Enchanteds in and build his collection. All right.
Oh yeah, I'm just taking him, bro. I'm just like side profile. Except
Kylie,
it's not complete.
Take an extra one for me, bro. Because
what do you need, bro? Tamatoa, bro?
Yo, I hoarded all the Tamatoas. Matter of fact, Kylie, guess what I got in today?
The Tamatoa.
Yeah, freshly.
Yeah, bro. I picked it up, bro.
What do you mean you picked it up?
I told Billy I'm trading for it, bro.
Oh, he trades for it. What are you trading? Anyways,
bro, dead game.
We don't want. Oh my gosh. Hey, I didn't say it, guys. Shout out to Bandai. But listen,
Shout out to Bandai.
Yeah, but listen,
it's actually not a dead game though. It's actually really live, to be honest.
A matter of fact, if y'all thought I pulled well in Lorcana, I also pull well in and I don't play One Piece. All right, you know why I don't play One Piece? Because there's no songs. It's a best of one.
No songs.
There's no community. The community's not like us. I'm just playing. I'm not trying to badmouth other games, but it ain't no Lorcana, baby. Right? Ravensburger isn't the one producing it, so we're loyal to the game. So anyways,
just come qualify. Try to make it to the invitational. It'll be super fun.
Remember, guys, it does pass down. So like this last one, like if it's a stacked field and the SSG players are there, Freedom Gaming's there, Zach, Zan, all of them, if they're there, they've all qualified. Jonathan Williams, shout out to my second place king.
Yo, that's
Jonathan
crazy.
I love you, Jonathan Williams. Bro, he had the curse for a minute, bro. We were all rooting for him, bro. He was second, 3 times in a row.
Not nice.
But all those players, all jokes aside, even if they top, all those invites get passed down. They all get seeded. So even if you get 9th, 10th, 11th place, if you bubble out, you still have a really good chance of being invited to the invitational because the other people already got in. So the further event down with the same player pool, there'll be a lot of seeded invites.
Can we put that on here that this is going to be moving forward? Can we also put that on the graphic stuff?
Yeah,
this is the last qualifying event, right?
Mm-hmm.
So an LCQ.
Yeah, last chance qualifier, baby.
And guys, let me tell you something, okay? And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. All right, there's a lot of people that are contributing to our invitational. But the number one person here, I've not seen him be more passionate about this outside of collecting these figurines at his crib. Shout out to Kylie. Is Kylie. So what he's putting, look at the background. What he's putting together and the passion he's putting behind our invitational, you guys don't want to miss this. You know why? Because every day he's talking to me and Stefan and Hector about it. He's like, yo, can we do this? Can we do this? And guess what? You already know that leading up to the event, it's always a rough draft until I say something crazy.
Exactly. Right? So imagine if you are giving Kylie permission to do as he wants, right? And Kylie is going all out, going crazy, getting this done, and boom, last minute you come in, and double it. Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be insane. I can't wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, I'm scared to see that last week before, because you guys remember, not only is it the invitational, the day before is the fabled set release tournament.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we're gonna have fabled in. Oh my god,
yeah, exactly.
We're gonna have fabled in the house.
So fabled set release core constructed, and then the day after, invitational infinity format. So it's gonna be a crazy weekend, and it's gonna be so crazy to see like what cards Fabled has that have like some groundbreaking potential with the rotated cards. That's like what I'm excited for. Like
Yeah.
just to see what these cards, because obviously they're scared of certain like interactions going forward, so they're gonna have to keep it locked. But it's gonna be crazy to see like just this unlimited format with just every card available to us to just see what it can do. Like if Powerline goes into Steel Songs, if they make some crazy discard card, if Maui Shark just gets the craziest actions to make him nuts, like just like seeing what all the staple decks can just add to them. And then obviously whatever I do for prizing, Devin's gonna top it. So
Yeah.
and it's free. The invitational is free. All you have to do is qualify.
And in order to qualify, you gotta not only top the event, but you have to show up.
Show up.
Listen, let the FOMO kick in. I promise you, this is going to be one of the best events we've ever had. You know why? Let me tell you why. We are at our peak prime. I'm not also gonna say peak for a second. That's crazy. We're at our prime.
Pete, bro.
All right. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Okay. You guys just look at the prize support as something. Let me visualize this for you. Okay. Think about walking into the building and you're seeing everyone. All right. And all of a sudden you're going there, you signed up, you went up to Justin, you did your little check-in, right? Now you're re-sleeving the deck, right? Because everyone starts off the tournament with new sleeves, right? And then all of a sudden you hear the music in the background. Dun 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 dun. And you already know it's at every event. All right.
Yo, he's actually qualified. Monty is qualified, so we're gonna hear that music.
Yeah, I know you are. And then, you see everyone around, but all of a sudden, one of the back doors, you see where the production is. Let me tell you something, okay? Our production team, what Stefan has done, and with the judge, with everyone in our production, it's getting better and better. You don't want to miss it. The feature tables are crazy. We got a little iPad looking right now. We can do the little live. You can see what people are saying. We have the best production as well, guys. All right. You don't want to miss this. And then you hear the craziness. This time around, we're definitely getting over 100 people. If we don't, that's crazy. You guys are sleeping. And then you see everyone there, all the judges, all the familiar faces. You see Hector over there trying to be a little focused. And let me tell you something, guys. This, like I said, not to sound redundant, this time around, is going to be one for the books. I promise you. Because Wakana's evolving, that means SSG's evolving. How much more can we evolve? It reminds me of the time where I stopped playing Pokemon for a second. And they have these like mega evolutions, whatever they're called. Hector could tell you more about it.
I guess, baby.
That's crazy. Can you imagine a Charizard evolving to something else? That's insane, right? So, anyways, point I'm trying to say is that this one's gonna be crazy, guys. Don't miss out. Don't do it.
And then it's not even they don't call it DLC market for no reason, right? Like you
Yeah.
got it's kind of like walking into a DLC. You got judges that go to a DLC, right? You got freaking talented commentators that these guys have like greatest synergy in the world. Like I see some of these other streams and I'm just like, I can't sit through it all unless it's our guys. All right. So everybody that's there is just welcoming, great. And then just thinking about it. I go there and it's like my worries are all gone, right? I'm there. I see everybody that comes from other states. You make friends. And it's like there's no other greater feeling. You're there with everybody having fun. Time flies by. It's just great. And then you got the staff there is very friendly. You got a lot of things going on. Like you got side events you got side events, giveaways. So for all type of players, right? You could come hang out, just watch. If you don't feel comfortable playing yet, there's a lot of things that you could do, right? And then if you come for the first time, come up to us, say hi, we'll make it worth your while. We'll make sure that you're having a good time. That's the type of shop SSG is. It's just there's no other better environment in the world out there.
And guess what? To add to what Hector's saying, due to popular demand, there may or may not be access to our Cuban coffee. I'm just saying.
Don't do this to me.
I may or may not be ordering.
I don't understand. You double the price support, but then you can't get me the Cuban coffee machine.
I forgot.
Like, why?
I forgot. A little coffee.
I'm gonna order it tomorrow on
coffee con
Amazon.
leche.
Don't worry.
Ooh, you know
Studies,
why?
I mean, studies show that when you bring cafe con leche to places, people get hooked, and you don't even need to go anywhere. Just
I
coffee
know.
shots, and you're done. Yeah, I can't
Wow.
wait.
Mhm.
That's
Yo,
even better than
you're telling
Temptation.
me we could play espresso pong?
Bro, oh man, stop! This is gonna be great.
Hector's trying to
What?
put his opponents in the bathroom all day, bro, before so he
Yo,
can win.
Listen, bro, a double
I'll be
shot of
giving out. I'm gonna be
espresso?
giving out Cuban coffee every round, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right before they start shuffling, like, hey, you want a shot? Bro, game 2, bro, they're like squirming, like, I gotta
That's
go.
wild, guys.
They're gonna pull.
So
They're gonna
wild.
pull.
Yo, that's why we have Gas X and Pepto Bismol, and we're gonna start selling too. You know?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Give the
That's
disease
all.
itself a cure.
First off,
Supply
I'm
and
not gonna
demand, baby.
lie, yo, we're gonna have to like step up our the sense in this place because like, because if it's some, you know, I'm just saying, if you can't hold it in, you can't hold it in, right? Like, you know, you sometimes Kylie walks by and does a little crop dusting,
Bro,
right?
bro, I
I
can't
smelt it
believe,
before, bro. You and Sean is
bro, that
crazy.
bro, you mean
Stop.
Aiden and
That
Sean,
is
bro?
okay, guys. That sounds
That-
like a
this-
conversation that probably should
Bro,
not be
Devin,
on the podcast.
Devin,
I'm just
podcast?
saying, bro. You guys think you're slick, and listen,
Ah.
I don't say anything to anybody sometimes
Oh
because
Lord.
I'm very
Bro.
nice, but sometimes we gotta get the Febreze out, bro.
Devin, the podcast is where Devin tells me how he really feels, man. If I was in the shop, he wouldn't say this to me.
Let me tell
He's
you
like,
why.
"Love
That's
you,
not true.
bro.
But you
Dad
know
was
why?
out. Come on
Listen,
the podcast. I stink.
I don't
I'm
say you
playing
stink.
with toys,
I'm
bro.
just
I just wanna
saying.
rip packs,
You guys
bro.
are.
What happens
you
is
guys
this,
are
right?
Insane.
Because you guys are working so hard, it's convenient. Today I said, Kylie, I'm hungry. What are we gonna get? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Usually he says, no, I'm gonna go eat out with Celeste. Okay, cool. I get that because you know I'm about to get into trouble, not trouble, but like I should the pod's going. But anyways, you know what he says to me today? Oh, I'm getting McDonald's.
Bro, I was going quick because I had to get to the podcast.
McDonald's, bro.
Sonic,
And I was saying,
gotta go fast.
and it's not just McDonald's, because then everyone gets McDonald's. And then it's like at 5 o'clock. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be one of those nights, you know. The bellies are gonna be like you eat like a couple, they get a couple like McChickens and then the belly starts rumbling, right? I'm like, oh no, you know, I'm just saying, bro. And then it leads to a Reese's or two. It's just not a good concoction in there, you know.
Like Celeste says, there's food at home.
There you go.
My boy, and yo,
Celeste got me too, bro. Celeste got me too.
All right. Well,
Damn, you put our boy out there. Like he was supposed to go home to his food, and you put out there, he got McDonald's. Oh
The
man,
McDee's, bro. That was the
Damn.
hidden Mickey
actually,
D's, bro.
damn, you
That was-
put
that
him
was-
out there
that
in
was-
front of 100 people.
Yo,
Oh,
Dev, that was me indulging, bro. You got me down, bro.
bro,
Listen,
that was his hidden
first of-
meal.
yo, let me tell you something. Everyone loves McDonald's. Listen, I love McDonald's. I get a little McChicken with cheese on it. You gotta add the American cheese. But man, bro, sometimes when you like, I just can't. You got to say, I just can't. Like, I don't want to feel
Wait.
like that.
Wait till wait. Everybody in this chat right now, everybody in here, the day McDonald's drops Lorcana toys,
Which they probably
Y'all
they
will- y'all will break.
Yo.
Yeah, comes with a little card.
Yo,
Y'all will break every diet,
Kylie.
every rule. Jack,
You
you're-
got
Kylie,
the
Kylie.
Pokemon.
First
You
off,
got
that's
the
Jack's
Pokemon, bro.
sanctuary. Listen to me. Some of you guys have the diet of a 5-year-old. Bro, can you imagine if they
Nuggets.
bring back the cups, the glass cups from McDonald's? Bro, you know the Disney theme ones?
yeah,
Bro,
but they
my-
make
my-
Lorcana
bro, my-
themed, bro.
Bro, my parents' house has everything, every single one of them. It's crazy. Bro, can you imagine that? And then, you know, and then they do an SSG collab.
With the SSG,
That's crazy.
that's wild.
the cherry blossom cup.
Oh my god.
You know, I got so excited about this event and the changes, and I was, you know, we did so well, and I totally took a misstep, and I forgot to go over Devin's picks.
Yeah, it's
from
rude.
the set. I know it's so rude. So
It's
we're
so
actually gonna
rude. Chat.
rewind this.
Hey, listen, guys, this is what they do to me all the time. You know, they say they just include me on this podcast just because they think I have to, right? Because I want to be on the podcast. All right, we got to include Devin. I guess so. He's the boss. That's rude.
That's
I
how,
know,
that's
I
how
know.
it went. That was
I feel
exactly
so
how the
bad.
board meeting went. We're like, yeah, guys, I guess we have to put Devin
Thank you.
here, right?
First and foremost, let me just begin really quick, and I'll do like a little elevator pitch, right? All right, Ludwig von Drake. First off, Drake, love it. Ludwig von, like Victor Von Doom, okay. But not only that, guys, it's like a little Ursula. You know, you can play this character chosen. You see their hand, you get the information, and they discard a non-character card. Crazy, right? I can't wait to hear Hector's input on this as well. And then you ramp with it. The only problem is this yellow blue. You know, and the yellow, like I said, like as Hector once mentioned, it's kind of like a wonky, you know, color combo right now. I think that's crazy. All right.
Yeah, I think that's the best card in the
Yeah,
set.
if this card
It's
was
got a built-in bare necessities. That alone.
this card was
for
too
either
playable
color,
at any point of the game.
At
this
two.
card was for either color, it would be insane. Like it
Bro,
will go on every blue and in
yeah.
every yellow deck.
Yeah,
I think it's just super good. Like
Bro, you put this on, bro, and not even like you're able to have, like I said, I play Blood Bowl, so it bounces back and I can play it again. It would be crazy. Just empty their hand, right? Right, but just getting just the value alone early game, just seeing having access to their hand and seeing that data right there is something that I feel like neither color combination has ever had before. Oh, well, except Bears Necessity. I'm sorry about that. I never played that card, but anyways. Now the next card, Stitch, that enchanted looks crazy. That
Bro,
is such a beautiful card, bro.
I want to see what Peter can do to that card, bro.
Yo, shout out to Peter, man. Peter, I can't wait to see this. You know what we need to do actually is because we had our first tournament, June 26th. We should have this like specially made by Peter because this is representing like our first tournament. That card would have been crazy. Anyways, so a lot of people like just to speed up a little bit. I like this card, especially like late game, right? And I think this is a like great late game card because like you know it's not just because like Lilo, like similar to Lilo, but when you play this character, each opponent puts the top card of their deck into their inkwell face down exerted, right? And you know everyone doesn't like giving their opponent that ramp and being able to get ahead. So I'm saying like late game is crazy. But being able to at the start of your turn, if it's in your discard, you could choose and discard a card with that's inkable to play this character for free. Literally that Lilo and Stitch combo right there is pretty cool. Now I was told that how it works, shout out to Jack, aka Ghosty. I was told that you know, if you were to decide to do so and you bring Lilo into the discard pile, you cannot bring her back that turn, right? Which is an interesting interaction. However, needless to say, I don't know if you guys can comment on it. I know he's uninkable, but I think this is an interesting card. What do you think? What do you guys think on it?
I like it. I mean, if you end up finding, I mean, I feel like yellow blue definitely has some tendencies to go a little bit lower into the aggro route, and you know, Lilo plays a really pinnacle role into just applying board pressure constantly. Right? It's like one of my favorite Amber cards that came out that just really applies pressure to Ruby Amethyst.
Yep.
You know, if they end up be prepping a pretty solid board on your side, it just feels really bad if you weren't able to prevent it. And Lilo kind of puts you back in a little bit because you have if they're playing Be Prepared on curve, you have the ability to replay this card when it's your turn again. So again, being able to recur things from the discard pile is super awesome. Putting them into play instead of them going right in your hand is even better. And I think Stitch leans very well into that, and a really great enchanted to top it off as well.
You guys think this could be a potential Rockstar Stitch shift target after rotation,
That's so sick.
where we play this on 3 and then we just
I'm gonna be
on
honest.
4?
I think Devin likes this card because he wants to get 4 enchanted of it. Because
Absolutely.
it looks gorgeous. Even this Bambi looks
I'll
gorgeous.
wait. I gotta wait till we get to
Right?
it.
Like,
That'd be sick.
I'm playing
But I don't know,
for
like, I'm wondering, like, they obviously reprinted Rockstar Stitch, and you know there may not be as great removal, like for him. So I wonder if like you play this, and then you know the turn after you shift Rockstar, and then when they kill the Rockstar, you at least have this card in your grave that like late game if you want to bring it back, and you're trying to go like an aggressive route.
That's cool, bro. That's
yeah, I think post rotation that this card will have a better space to
Oh yeah,
to
100%.
play, right? Just because if there's less removal and there's less like threats that you can ramp your opponent into, then I think it'll be a little better then. And just the only difference is obviously Lilo, you just pay ink to bring it back, so you're not recurring it by having to discard a card. So this makes you discard. That's the only
You can bring back both though.
or
Yeah, you're right.
maybe this goes in the blue green. You can actually have like some little value with Ink Geyser. Just saying,
That's pretty cool.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
I
could,
think
Have like a
Yeah,
little.
true.
you could discard your opponent's hand too, and then have it out where like no matter how much ink they have, it doesn't really matter. It also is key that they just put the top card face down and exerted, so they don't know what it is either.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So like it hits their odds, their probabilities where they're
Now you
like,
catch the judge. Somebody's gonna look at it, and you're gonna be like, "Judge, he looked at the card."
no, yeah, no, they're not supposed to. I mean, especially like like the the wheel heard around the world from Wochuk.
Shout out
You
to
know,
Wochuk,
shout out to Wochuk, but he was doing a lot of probabilities there, and just throwing in one unknown, and you're really trying to bank like, am I going to see this card?
Right.
It just throws off like math like crazy.
Oh, that's
So,
true.
like, I definitely think Hector's right. I think what we're looking at right now is I think a lot of decks are going to stay very similar this set, but I think when rotation happens, I think a lot of these cards become like the new staple cards, like Stitch, Bambi.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of the cards that like burn for one are going to be gone. So this Bambi is probably going to be the new standard, right? And then it's pretty cool that when they play something, you bounce it. So you could just keep burning for one, and the moment they don't play a creature, then you're just questing for three. So it's kind of like the new GOAT in a sense, but not as broken.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's not
The
as
art though, the art is insane. Like these enchanteds are.
that art's with that little crown, that because Bambi's a little prince. That art is wild. These
I didn't even
enchantments.
notice. I didn't even notice the crown.
Yeah, that's his
Yeah,
crown, bro.
yeah,
That's the
because he's a
crown.
prince.
He's a
That boy's
prince, bro.
Bambi's a prince, my boy. Listen, this card, I think is gonna be great.
Yeah, that card's gonna be good.
I think it's gonna be a good card.
I like it. The art's great. It seems super playable, and another card to keep your eye on as the meta evolves. Again, starting on the release. So these were Devin's picks. We are a little over today, so I do want to kind of head into our sign off a little bit now. Devin, if you have any last words that you want to share for the evening before you head out.
Outside of how grateful we are to have everyone in this podcast right now, I'm going to be honest with you, all the viewers in the chat interacting with us, that loves to see us for. I would think that we're. I didn't realize if we're that entertaining or whatever the case may be. If you just want to come kick it with us, but we're super grateful. Gives us the ability to have something to look forward to every Wednesday, and as we grow, we're definitely going to get better and better. I never thought that we would have this I consider what pretty much success for a podcast, right? But it allows me to come chill for my obviously we're a team, but some of my most favorite people in my life, and we look forward to see what we can what this podcast evolves into.
Awesome. Yeah. No, really great words, Devin. We're happy to be here with you as well. Hector, any parting words on your side?
Kind of like the same sentiment of Devin has. It's like it feels great that every Wednesday we got people tuning in to just hearing us guys like chat, about our next events. Makes me feel good that we have we can hang out with friends and just have a good laugh on a random Wednesday night, right? And listen to Devin up the price every single game and promise me about coffee and stuff like that. It feels really good, and like he said, we're just gonna keep on growing. So anybody that joins us in is special to us, right? If you're with us from the beginning, you're always going to be with us at the end towards whether we're big or not. So we appreciate you guys coming in, and I have a great time. Like I wouldn't miss these podcasts. Like it makes me feel good just to be here and being able to be part of this with you guys.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Hector. That means a lot. What about you, Kylie?
I just want to thank all you guys for listening to us rant here for a little bit about these new cards. I'm definitely excited to see some of you guys who have to travel for the tournament. I know you guys make like accommodations, and I really appreciate that you guys come down. And like I said last time, we really have a great time. And for you guys local, if you haven't been in the store recently, Devin actually has a brand new buy station in the store. So you guys should definitely come on and check that out. If you guys are looking to trade in any cards right now, to just save up some credit for some Jafar boxes or singles when we get them, definitely come on down by the store. But locals are getting bigger again. 18 yesterday, like I said, and people are getting excited to play again. And you know, if I'm there and I see there's a lot of guys, a lot of players, you guys know I'm gonna throw something in. So, you know, just really appreciate the community and love seeing you guys, and you know, hope to just see it grow from there.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Kylie. Yeah, and parting words on my side, you know, we're already on episode 6. We see a lot of growth and interaction from the chat, but also growth from each one of us, right? Like prior to doing this podcast, I'd never done a podcast before. I didn't know what to expect. I was more on the production side of things behind the scenes. And I was nervous, scared, you know, what do people think of you? But I do see that not only my co-host with you guys, but chat as well, just very welcoming, and it's really awesome. You know, I'm getting to play a couple different roles uh, within this game or in competition or production. Like, you know, during the last event, I got not only did I get to play in it, um, I did commentary for the wheel heard around the world, and it's just great. We interact with a lot of great people here locally, and also people that come visit us. And again, it's just we're seeing a lot of familiar faces, and it's always every month. It always feels like, you know, we're all hanging out, just really doing the thing we enjoy. And it's very reminiscent of what I remembered what it was like after high school, right? Going over a friend's house and playing, you know, a bunch of video games, card games. And it's just really nice. You know, like going to like CCS or a DLC, like, you know, there's a goal in mind, right? There's a competition that you want to win, you want to do well. But you know, even if you don't do so well at a locals here or a big event, it doesn't feel so bad because you're still surrounded by great people. There's great side events, and it's just overall a great time. So whether I'm working the event or playing the event, you know, SSG holds a very special place in my heart, and I hope that it can do the same for my co-host as well as the people that come and play every day. You know, I love seeing you guys, and you know, we definitely want to see more of you. So appreciate you joining in, tuning in for today's show. We're gonna go ahead and sign off for now.